Hi, today we're going to talk about solving radical equations, level 1 and level 2. Hopefully you had a chance to do the warm-up problems, and let's go over those one by one. We need the skills to do today's work. All right, so in order to solve for x, at the end you want x all by itself. However, we have a square root on x. So what we need to do is first, we need to square on both sides. So as a result of that, we know square the square root, the square root sign goes away, and x is isolated. That's exactly what we want. And if we did that, now x is on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, just 2 squared is equal to 4. And we have solved this problem. So if you have a square root isolated all by itself, then you're ready to square on both sides. Now let's take a look at number 2. So you have a number 2, and you have a square root of x here, and you have a number. And the radical part, the square root, is not by itself. So we need to do something about that first. A lot of you probably say, oh, just subtract 2 on both sides. You're absolutely correct. That's what we have to do. If you did that, and as you can see, and this problem just turned into what? Just this problem just same as problem number 1. And you know exactly what to do with problem number 1, just square root on square on both sides. And the mission's accomplished. And number 3, we have a square root here. It's radical part. That's all right. So we can just square on both sides. Okay. Again, by the same token, square to square root, the square root goes away. And the right-hand side turns into a 4. Then you just add a 1 to both sides. And you have solved this problem. The solution for this one is x equal to 5. And you can see number 4 is very much like number 3. However, the radical part is not isolated. So you want to get rid of the 3 by subtracting the 3 from both sides. Once that's accomplished, and as you can see, now the radical part is all by itself. Now you have seen examples 1, 2, and 3. What you have to do is absolutely, and that is the same problem as 3. So you just just square on both sides, and you should have the answer. The answer is x equal to 5. And you will be practicing the exact same routine on solving problems later. But before we go look at examples, we want to review how to complete the perfect squares. And as you know, perfect squares, a plus b squared is always equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. If you carry that out, as you can see, the answer should be x squared plus 2 times x times 3 is 6x, and 3 squared is 9. Okay. What if you have a negative sign there? The only thing you will realize that the middle term will be negative. X squared. The last term is always positive. The negative sign will only go into the middle term. So this will turn into squared plus 16 because you double that up. 16x plus 64. And this one just simply going to turn into x squared plus This actually should be a minus 16 because the middle term dictates the sign here. So hopefully you find this relatively simple to carry out. Next, we're going to talk about examples as to how to solve actual problems.